starting soon. Come watch the rabbit, let's watch the rabbit, bringing entertainment to me and you. Come watch the rabbit, let's watch the rabbit, it's not hard to do. Get ready because the stream is starting now.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another JRabbit87 stream. I'm your host, JRabbit87. And I hope you all are having a wonderful day today, and I hope you guys are ready for some more wrestling action. But of course, before we do that, you're not going to see her for all night. But for now, right behind me is my hashtag wonderful wife, Firebird10. Let's go ahead and get into our commands, and then I'll kind of get over what to expect tonight. And boy, oh boy, do we have a good show for you guys tonight. As always, we're sponsored by our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He is blessed being my life, and we want to make sure that we return his blessings. We also, of course, want to say thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. It means so much to me that you guys are here. Discord. We have one of those. If you've not joined our Discord, there is a link that is about to be shared. There it is.
Feel free
to grab. Huh?
I had to tell Horikoshi-san congratulations on his video game release.
Oh, fair enough. So yeah, there's a link to our Discord. Feel free to come join us. Here's a couple more links to a couple more places that you can join us once you're done watching this video. Those places, of course, have past live streams and highlight videos. Last, but certainly not least, ways to help support the stream right here, right now. All of that information is in the chat. One of these days, I'm going to stick to a format, and it's just going to be that format. I don't know. I'm trying not to make it seem like I'm just repeating myself at the beginning and the end of streams, and change things up and make things continue to be entertaining for everybody, while also getting across the messages that need to be gotten across. So, with that said, okay, sorry about that. I had to cough there. With that said, tonight we have 10 action-packed matches for you guys. We will be starting the War Momentum over both men's and women's tag team championships. Even though he is no longer able to, or he is not able to challenge for the Intercontinental title, that hasn't stopped Finn Balor from challenging the current number one contender, Akam, to a one-on-one match, which Akam has agreed to do so. We also learned that Terry Funk and New Jack have added the Sandman and Rob Van Dam to now form a faction. And instead of being called the Originals, they are now going to be known as Team Hardcore. With that, because Terry Funk will be involved in the War of Momentum over the men's tag team championships, one of the new members, the Sandman, will be going one-on-one with Triple H tonight. We also have our massive main event an intergender tag team match where the number one contenders for the Women's World and Heavyweight Championship will be going against the current champions. So, Alba Fire will be teaming up with Boogeyman to take on Natalia and Ludwig Kaiser. All of that and more. Of course, we're starting things off with the Women's European Championship. Alexa Bliss has found herself once again in a number one contender spot. Tonight, she goes one on one with Piper Niven. Starting things off this match, coming up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Ayrshire, Scotland, Piper Niven.
And here she comes. She is a former RWF Women's World Champion, as well as a former RWF Women's European Champion. And ever since her best friend Chelsea Green has won the European Championship, she has become the first roadblock on any woman who wants to get their hands on that title.
And her opponent, representing the Wyatt Six from Columbus, Ohio, Alexa Bliss.
Now, this isn't Alexa Bliss's first time as a number one contender, but she has yet to get the actual job done when it comes to the gaining of a title. Alexa Bliss looking to gain her first championship here in RWF. We'll see if she can do it at Toronto Throwdown, but first, she has to get past Piper Niven. Okay, sorry about the radio silencer for a second. I had a question that I wanted to get answered, and I was doing the research to answer that question. So, ever since Chelsea Green has become Women's European Champion, Alexa Bliss has not challenged her for that title. So I know Alexa Bliss has become number one contender for the Women's World Championship, but this is, at least while Chelsea Green's been champion, this will be Alexa Bliss's first chance at that title. And of course, we know Chelsea Green will be looking to successfully defend the title and go a full, and go past 10 months as champion. And with count out no, I almost thought there for a second we were getting a count out victory. Alexa Bliss and Piper Niven going to war here. Big power move by Alexa Bliss, looking for a cover, but a kick out of 2. Double knee combination. Bliss looking for a cover, but Piper Niven kicks out. Niven using her size to her advantage, looking for a cover, but kick out of 2.
2.
And Niven going for the Niven driver, but Alexa Bliss able to counter it into a Sister Abigail DDT. And now, I guess Bliss isn't done. A second Sister Abigail DDT, but oh, there's Chelsea Green's music. But there's no Chelsea Green. And Niven from behind. Niven driver hit into the cover. Oh, but at the last moment, 2.9999999, Alexa Bliss kicks out. Second rope splash by Niven. Piper Driver number 2 into the cover. And that's it.
Here is your winner, Piper Niven.
And not the way Alexa Bliss wants to start things out. A dominant win here by Piper Niven. Bliss threw everything she had, but it wasn't enough. We'll see if when the title's on the line and she's facing Chelsea, how things pan out. Well, coming up next, I mentioned it earlier, it's Akam versus Finn Balor.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the Judgment Day. From Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing in at 190 pounds, Finn Balor.
A 3-time RWF Intercontinental Champion. Per the anonymous general manager, he is not allowed to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship again so long as Umaga is the current champion. Despite that, he has challenged the current number 1 contender to this one-on-one match, and the number 1 contender has accepted, and I don't blame him. I mean, what stronger message to send to the current champion than to beat a former 3-time champion? But likewise, what kind of message does it send if you lose?
And his opponent, accompanied by Paul Ellery, representing the Authors of Pain from Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada, weighing in at 290 pounds, Akam.
And here he comes, being accompanied by his manager, Paul. I don't remember his last name. Here he is, Akam. Now his partner Razor has tried his best to be in this spot, but has never been able to actually be #1 contender. We'll see if Akam can get the job done. And again, what stronger message could he send to Umaga than by beating Finn Balor here tonight? And this match starts off with Finn Balor taking an early lead with that sling blade, and that's exactly what he's got to do. He's got to keep in mind he's in there with somebody much stronger than him. So he's got to use his speed and his technical abilities to his advantage. And there's the smash mouth style of Akam. There's nothing pretty about him or his tag team partner and what they do. They aren't here to be flashy or make themselves popular. They are only here to beat the living tar out of their opponents. They actually seem to get some sort of enjoyment out of torturing and bringing pain to their opponents. Quick cover, but Finn Balor easily able to kick out. And honestly, I don't even know if that was Akam's what he was trying to do. I think he was just trying to play some mind games. Again, he wants Balor to kick out. He wants to continue the punishment. Reversal by Balor, but right away reversal back by Akam. Another sling blade, and then Balor trying his best here, only getting a 1 count. Balor, the wily veteran in his match. Of course, he's also got to have his head on a swivel with with that manager at ringside, a manager who's even more of a veteran than Finn Balor is. That's the same guy who managed the Road Warriors back in the day. Aerial defense did not pay off for Akam as Finn Balor gets back into this match. Back and forth action between these two men. Big reversal into a cover. Not even a 1 count. Balor off the top rope with a diving splash. Balor hits the coup de grace into the cover. Kick out at 2. Almost had him. A second coup de grace, but the referee is busy with the manager on the outside. There's the pinfall. And that's it.
Here is your winner,
It wasn't pretty, but Finn Balor was able to upset Akam here tonight. The night is not a good night for #1 contenders, it seems. Strong message sent to Umaga. Now, despite this, that #1 contendership spot was not on the line there. And no, this does not mean that Finn Balor will all of a sudden be inserted and it becomes a triple threat match again. The general manager was clear. As long as Umaga is champion, Finn Balor cannot challenge for that title. Either way, strong message sent on the #1 contender's behalf. Well, coming up next, we start our War of Momentum as New Jack takes on Uncle Howdy. Now, I do want to make it known as New Jack, the original gangsta, makes his way to the ring. Betting was made before they announced the name change. So at least for tonight, they will still be represented by the letters O and G. And although he has a big task ahead of him tonight, do you wonder if there's just a little bit of extra confidence in Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt, knowing that at Toronto Throwdown, they're going to be facing a weakened person? Of course, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Terry Funk is the current Pure Honor champion. Terry Funk is also one half of Team Hardcore that'll be challenging for the tag team titles. Which means that when Terry Funk and New Jack step into the ring against the Faces of Fear, Terry Funk is already going to be exhausted from having a match earlier in the night. But if he wins, if he wins and successfully defends the Pure Honor Championship, and him and New Jack successfully win the heavyweight or the tag team championships, Terry Funk will make history, becoming the only man to hold the Pure Honor and men's tag team championships at the same time. Interesting fun fact about these two, it was both Uncle Howdy and New Jack who won the Fatal 4-Way Tornado Tag Team #1 contender match for their teams to become #1 contenders. The late AO, what did I miss? Hey, welcome in, Bruda. You missed Piper Niven defeating Alexa Bliss in a one-on-one match, and you missed Finn Balor defeating Akam in a one-on-one match. Now we are currently beginning the War of Momentum, starting with this match here, Uncle Howdy versus New Jack. Also, because New Jack and Terry Funk did not, since betting was made before they announced that they would be changing their tag team name, for betting, New Jack and Terry Funk tonight will still both be represented by the letters O and G. Fair, I'm cool with these results, and thank you for the update. You're welcome. You're welcome. On one hand, we have the hardcore icon, the original gangsta New Jack, who is yet to win a title. He's made his debut not too awful long ago as well here in RWF, versus Uncle Howdy, a former RWF heavyweight champion, as well as the current, one half of the current men's tag team champions, Of course, the duo of the Faces of Fear have already had one successful title defense, looking to make it two successful title defenses. And of course, New Jack doesn't care about the dark and mysterious and the spooky wooky that is Uncle Howdy or Bray Wyatt. A man lived, raised on the streets. He is as hardcore as you can get. Sister Abigail by Uncle Howdy into the cover, and that's it.
Here is your winner, Uncle Howdy.
And on this night, hardcore doesn't beat spooky wooky. Woo! Uncle Howdy gains the first point in the war momentum here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is the first of the war of momentum over the women's tag team titles. But before we, actually no, I'll save it for after this. So yeah, up next, Rose Holland versus Raquel Rodriguez.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing the Acolytes. From New Orleans, Louisiana, Rose Holland.
Rose Holland, one of the members of this Holland family, a former Carrot Cash briefcase holder. Dominant is the only word for these three. Of course, Brava Holland making her return at the Rabbit Rumble, and Lauren Rose making their return last episode, winning the #1 contendership spot. We'll see if they can have what it takes to gain their first titles here in RWF.
And her opponent, representing Power and Glory from Rio Grande Valley,
comes Raquel Rodriguez. Her and Liv have been quite successful since becoming tag team champions, and they don't look to lose them anytime soon. And this match starts, and Rose Holland just towering over Raquel Rodriguez, but that is not stopping Raquel Rodriguez from attempting to do as much damage as she can. Of course, Brava Holland, Rose Holland, and Laura Holland, once known as the Holland family, now known as the Acolytes. Rodriguez is tall, as is so for Holland. To tower over her, that's intimidating, right? Rodriguez is tall as is. So for Holland to tower over here, that's a dug in. I read that way too weird. Yeah, you're not wrong. Barbara Holland and her Laura Holland and Rose Holland, once known as just the family, now having to call themselves the Acolytes, recently re-signed to RWF roster. They wreaked havoc at one point in time. Now, of course, they're looking to not just wreak havoc on RWF, but capture RWF gold. Massive slam there by Rose Holland. Not enough, though. Massive slam there by Holland into the cover. Oh, but a kick out of two. Big bomb by Raquel Rodriguez into the cover, but a kick out of two. Big move by Rodriguez into the cover, and that's enough.
Here is your winner, Raquel Rodriguez.
Massive statement made here tonight by Raquel Rodriguez, getting a very impressive win over Rose Holland. Well, now with that win, I'm going to pivot for just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to announce that RWF Toronto Throwdown, the next big event leading up to Rabbit Mania, of course, will be held Sunday, February 22nd. So, yeah, look forward to that. With that announcement, if you were with us last RWF episode, you know that Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were going off about Japan and its culture and ended up having a tag team match against the Spitfire Warriors. Apparently, that wasn't enough, as Austin Theory would continue to slander Japan and the Japanese culture, putting down both Shinsuke Nakamura and the Great Muta and how they failed, just like Japan has failed. Well, Shinsuke is not taking this lightly. The King of Strong Style has challenged Austin Theory, this time to a one-on-one match, and went so far as to get it already approved. He didn't wait for Austin Theory to say yes or no. He went straight to this anonymous general manager and got it approved, and that match is coming up next.
It's scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing A-Town Down Under from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Austin Theory.
And here it comes, the ever brash, ever arrogant Austin Theory. He has let his mouth run about Japan and their culture, and how him and Grayson Waller have a victory over the Spitfire Warriors. And now, it's one-on-one time. king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. He has apologized for his dishonorable acts and seemingly has been forgiven by the RWF fan base. And now he fights for the honor of Japan, his culture, and anybody who can't defend themselves against online bullies like Austin Theory. And as this match starts off here, Austin Theory in great showing. We gotta wonder if Nakamura is not just a little preoccupied with all of the bad things that Theory and Waller have been saying. Back and forth action between these two. I don't think Austin Theory quite knows what he's in for. Nakamura is a Japanese icon. He is, of course, the king of strong style. Granted, Austin Theory is no slouch either. Roll through dropkick as Austin Theory continues to kind of dominate here. Kick out at 2, and Austin Theory, you can see he just can't believe that. Nakamura almost not putting up any kind of fight here. So to have him just kick out like that. The onslaught continues. Nakamura finally getting back into this thing. That's it.
Here is your winner, Austin Theory.
I honestly don't know what was going on with Shinsuke Nakamura there, but just not his night as Austin Theory clearly just dominating in that match. This was this has dagged my nabbits. I'm gonna kind of pull back the curtain here. I have no idea what happened there. I have not messed with Nakamura's AI or his stats or anything. He has 100 stats just like Austin Theory does. I have no idea what happened there. Well, moving right along, we get back into the war momentum as Terry Funk takes on Bray Wyatt.
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing Team Hardcore from Amarillo, Texas, weighing in at 247 pounds, the Pure Honor Champion, Terry Funk.
And of course, what's interesting about this is you have a current Pure Honor champion facing a former Pure Honor champion. And this is a champion versus champion match. other half of the men's tag team champions, a former heavyweight, intercontinental, and pure honor champion. The only title this man has yet to hold is the United States Championship. And as I said, he is former Pure Honor champion, so you have that former versus current. You have champion versus champion. You have champion versus challenger. You have all of that in this match here tonight. Of course, Uncle Howdy already getting 1 point in the War of Momentum for the Faces of Fear. Terry Funk needs a win here tonight to even things out. And as this match gets underway, I'm going to leave you guys for just a few so I can help my wife finish her good night vlog. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back, and Bray Wyatt in control, trying to go for perhaps the Inagi, but Terry Funk able to get out of it, going for a cover, but only a 1 count. Welcome back. Thank you. As Terry Funk's got the spinning toe hold locked in. Will Bray Wyatt tap out here? No. He's able to get the rope. This would be a pretty great match, IRL, if both these guys were in their prime. IMO. You're not wrong. Reversal back body drop into a cover, but only a 1 count. Sister Abigail by Bray Wyatt. But he's not done. Looking for the mandible claw. Yeah, he's got it locked in. But Terry Funk, way too tough, able to get out of it. Schoolboy pin by Funk. Oh, almost a 3 count, but not quite. Funk perhaps going for the power driver, but Bray able to battle out of it. Bray Wyatt to the top rope. That tomahawk-like move there, and that's it.
Here is your winner, Bray Wyatt.
And Bray Wyatt bringing the War Momentum 2-0. Another woo. With that, we head right into our next bit of War Momentum as Liv Morgan tries to do the same thing that Bray did and make it 2-1 as she faces Laura Holland. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that shirt.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing the Acolytes. From New Orleans, Louisiana, Laura Holland.
Laura Holland, of course, along, like I said earlier, with the rest of the Hollands, was a menace to RWF. now. She's I wonder if she's gonna be shaking, because Laura Holland is quite taller, and quite powerful, more powerful than she is. Can she use her speed and cunning to get the job done? So far, Liv showing no fear here, going against the massive Lara Holland. A true David and Goliath, right? Lara Holland just dominating right now. And of course, Raquel Rodriguez would have to show up here tonight. Again. Raquel getting involved. And now Morgan from behind with a roll-up. Oh, but a reversal. Only a 2 count, though. Standing Oblivion into the cover. And a kick out of 2. Liv Morgan picking up steam here. But she tried just a little bit too much there. Liv Morgan in firm control of this match. Middle rope code breaker. A second standing Oblivion into the cover. And she did it.
Here is your winner, Liv Morgan.
Well, call it what you want, but Power and Glory have won both War of Momentum matches here tonight. 2-0. In both of our championship, in both Wars of Momentums, the champions have came out victorious 2-0 here tonight. It really is not a good night to be a number one contender. Speaking of number one contenders, though, we have a very interesting situation. I wish we had camera feeds to show you, but cameras caught a conversation between John Cena and his former teammate, R-Truth. And the conversation was about Cena's attitude change. And the long short of it was R-Truth basically said, yo, dog, if you're going to keep acting like this, I kind of got a side with that Chad Gable. I mean, that Chad Gable guy who's going to fight you. And Cena, of course, was just like, you don't even know who I'm fighting, Truth. I'm fighting El Grande Americano. And I'm going to wipe the floor with him. Just like I wiped the floor with Santos Escobar. Nobody, no Latino, no Spanish guy, nobody is taking the United States title from the Doctor of Thugonomics. R-Truth, then we were able to catch R-Truth with El Grande Americano. With Truth basically saying, yo, I know you're Chad Gable. I know you was that. And El Grande is just like, no comprendo. No, mio, El Grande Americano. Long story short, coming up next is R-Truth versus El Grande Americano. And of course, you're not Chad Gable? Exactly.
Y'all know what time it is. This the part where we crank it up. Let's crank it up. Now here we go. People over there, what's up? You feel me? Stand up and say what's up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You can get with this or you can get with that. You better get with this, cause this is where it's at. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? See, I be skipping and jumping, leaving the competition. I make them disappear like your favorite magician. And I ride it till the wheel fall off. I bounce back to back till they necks get soft. Most of the time you see me, I'm being simple. Give me the times, I'll be busting them up like a pimple. Stating my claim to fame, to be one of the baddest young brothers step foot in this game. And I haven't even started yet. You can better believe I take it off the show shop bet. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
R-Truth saying that he's going to show everybody what's up when he reveals that it is Chad Gable under the mask. It is interesting too that ever since a Grande Americano has appeared here in RWF, Chad Gable has not been seen. Surely that's because Chad is on vacation. Well, seems like our audience here is split down the middle, as well as half of them are chanting that that's Chad Gable, while the other half are replying, no, it's not. Either way, El Grande Americano in firm control in the beginning stages of this match. Now, if it is Chad Gable, then Chad Gable is a former RWF Intercontinental Champion, while El Grande Americano has yet to have any kind of title here in RWF. Massive move there by Americano into the cover. But R-Truth kicks out at 2. Back and forth action between these two, and oh, R-Truth hits the little Jimmy and gets a 2 count. Americano taking Truth down by the leg, going for a cover here. Only a 2 count. Nice belly to belly suplex. Big flying headbutt into the cover. Oh, kick out at 2 point. No. Our Truth trying to emulate Cena there, but the Luchador able to make him pay. And that's it.
Here is your winner, El Grande Americano.
Big win here for El Grande Americano. Defending, well, I guess, himself and his name against our Truth and his claims of him being Chad Gable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is our semi-main event of the evening, as one of the new members of Team Hardcore, the Sandman, goes one-on-one with the Game, Triple H.
He's just a common man, working hard for a man. Hey, he's a The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing Team Hardcore from Philadelphia, weighing in at 240 pounds, the Sandman.
And you want to talk about hardcore. You want to talk about an ECW original. I'm surprised that this man wasn't a part of the group sooner. The Sandman is just as hardcore as any of the rest of them. You saw it there, busting himself open, making himself bleed before this match has even started. The master of the kendo stick versus the master of the sledgehammer. I may be a bad ECW fan for saying this, but I don't remember this theme. Also, it's hard to believe it's semi-main event time already. So you're definitely not bad. He only ever had this theme song when he was in WWE. Or WWE's ECW. Because for whatever reason, they didn't want to pay Metallica for the rights to use Enter Sandman, which is his actual theme song. And I know, right? It seems like time's gone by real quick tonight. Okay, yeah. I had sworn his song was always Into the Sandman. Yeah, it was.
And his opponent, representing D-Generation X from Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing in at 255 pounds, the Triple H!
Yeah, in the original ECW, he had Enter Sandman by Metallica. On the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view, he had Enter Sandman by Metallica. But when they brought ECW to television under the WWE banner after One Night Stand, they gave him that weird, stupid version of the song because they didn't want to pay for the rights to use Enter Sandman. And what's worse is if you pick up a DVD copy of One Night Stand, they have dubbed over Metallica's Enter Sandman with that song that he entered to on the game. And he's not the only one from ECW who got that treatment. Balls Mahoney famously had the song Big Balls from AC/DC, and WWE replaced it with a watered down version without any words that sounded horrible. Tommy Dreamer came out to Man in the Box by Alice in Chains, and WWE gave him a remade version with no lyrics that was just a watered down version as well. Dagnabbit WWE, you just had to be cheap, right? Balls Mahoney. I used to be a big fan of that guy, LOL. And Man in the Box was honestly a top 10 wrestling theme. Some might say that Sandman is out of his element here tonight, as this is not a hardcore match. Of course, people from ECW weren't the only ones who got affected by this either. There were several people from WCW who, granted, they didn't have trademark songs like that, like they didn't have copyright songs, but they had certain songs like Diamond Dallas Page had a watered down version of a Nirvana song, and WWE completely changed it up to where it didn't even sound the same anymore. The same with Raven. Raven had an iconic song that was kind of a watered down version of a popular song, but when he went to WWE, they completely got rid of it and gave him something completely different. Oh wow! Out of nowhere!
Here is your winner, the
Well, I said it once. I'm going to say it again. Tonight is not a good night to be a number one contender, as the Sandman has defeated Triple H in one-on-one action. Sandman got his revenge for that theme song fiasco. Right. As much as I hate to say this, only in RWF. Because you know there's no way that in real life they would have let that happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does mean that it is indeed time for our main event of the evening. Coming up next is an intergender tag team match as the number one contender for the Women's World Championship, Alba Fire, and the number one contender to the RWF Heavyweight Championship, Boogeyman, take on the current champions Natalia and Ludwig Kaiser.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, representing the Unholy Union from Glasgow, Scotland, Alba Fire!
And here she is. She's been in the number one contendership spot in the tag team division. They were unfortunately unable to capture the gold, but now is her first real time being in this spot in this singles division. We'll see if she has what it takes to take the title away from Natalia in what is essentially Natalia's hometown. I think Natalia's from Toronto, so it will be in Natalia's hometown. Well, he's the Boogeyman, and he's coming to get the title. Boogeyman has stated that after he becomes heavyweight champion, then all of RWF can snack on some nice, juicy worms as celebration.
From Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the Women's World Champion, Natalia!
Okay, so she's from Calgary, Alberta. Close enough. So, like I said, basically her hometown.
And representing Imperium from Hamburg, Germany, weighing in at 220 pounds, the heavyweight champion, Ludwig Kaiser!
We were able to speak with Gunter, and he told us that there is no bad blood between him and Ludwig Kaiser. He is proud of his protege, and he is proud to finally have a man who has the championship, who represents the integrity of the great sport of professional wrestling and honors the mat. When asked about his arrogance from pulling the title away, Gunther said he has every right to be arrogant. And as long as he's champion, you better get used to it. It looks like this match is going to be starting off with the ladies. Though keep in mind that this is RWF, so the men can and most likely will be getting into the mix with these two. Speaking of, there's a tag out to Ludwig Kaiser. Tagging into the Boogeyman. Big spine buster. The mind games aside, the boogeyman is quite powerful. You gotta watch out. Taking in Natalia.
Was that the bite of 87?
Alright, sorry about that. I had a little bit of business to take care of. But I'm back here in the commentary area. And apparently Boogeyman is just standing around waiting for Natalia to come back into the ring. And Natalia immediately hits him with the sharpshooter. The Boogeyman tap out here? No. Easily able to get out. Tagging into Ludwig Kaiser. Boogeyman just tossing Kaiser around like a sack of potatoes. So I got the Alba Fire. Big move there by Fire into a cover, and Natalia breaks it up. Taking it back into the Boogeyman. Is that the bite of 87? As it's that tag out to Natalia. Boogeyman hits the Boogie Slam into the cover. But Ludwig Kaiser in the nick of time breaks up the pinfall. Tagging in Alba Fire. Alba Fire with a Swanton Bomb into the cover. Ah, the kick out of 2. Fight of 87 needs to be a move name. Right? Natalia locking in the sharpshooter. Will Alba Fire tap out here? And now Boogeyman able to save up the match. Tag back to the Boogeyman. And the Boogeyman hits the Boogie Bomb into the cover. And that's it.
Here are your winners, the team of Alba Fire and the Boogeyman.
All the first #1 contenders to actually leave with a victory here tonight. Alba Fire and Boogeyman. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in a very rare instance, we are actually done before it's time to be done. And from a normal stream, normally we don't end until 9 o'clock. Granted, it's only like 4 minutes away, but still, tonight's night really flew by. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Again, our schedule as of now, will be live again, hopefully Sunday, February 15th, as we continue Batman Arkham Knight. We are getting extremely close to the end of Batman Arkham Knight, which I'm happy about. 'Twas an amazing show, great matches, but too quick overall, right? We will also be live Tuesday, February 17th, for Rabbit Wrestling Federation. And then, as announced earlier, Sunday, February 22nd, will be RWF Toronto Throwdown. So I hope you guys will will join me for all of that. Of course, each of my streams will always start at 7 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, tonight really did go by super quick. Like, I'm like, we should do something else, but I'm like, I don't know what else to do. You guys want to help me? I know what you can do. You can help me, or at least be with me, to change Laura Holland. I really hate that I have to get rid of her flannel, but I don't like how it does its thing. And there's not another top. I don't think. could be wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Yeah, that's. I mean, I guess I could use that. Turn it red. I don't know. I don't like that. Trying to see if they have anything remotely close to what I want. Kane. Steampunk. I mean, I could give her that. It's kind of close to what Brody Lee wore as Brody Lee. What do you think? Do you think this would be? Do you think this would be okay for her to enter in? Since I don't like how the um, other shirt was getting caught up in her arm. What do you think, Bruda? And after this, we'll officially end. I don't mind it. Okay, we'll do that then. And I don't think it really needs to have anything changed. So okay. There's that. Yeah. As always, thank you guys so much for. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining. Let's go ahead and get into our commands, and then I'll let you guys go for the evening. Um, yeah. As always, we are sponsored by our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He has blessed both me and my wife extremely greatly. We want to make sure that we return his blessings by giving him all the honor, glory, credit, and praise that he rightfully deserves. We also want to say a huge thank you. Thank you to everybody that joined me today. It means so much to me that you guys take time in your busy days to come and hang out with me. Of course, a huge thank you also goes to our supporters, starting with my hashtag wonderful wife, Firebird10, our amazing friends Nick and T, as well as our other friends Sean, Steve, and Danny, as well as our two digital artists responsible for our two different artworks, Amon Wolf of CNH Podcast and Z Fire Incorporated. Discord. We have one of those. If you've not joined our Discord, feel free to grab that link right there and come join us. We've got tons of chat rooms. That's where important announcements are announced, decisions are decided, discussions are discussed, wrestling results are resulted, chats are chatted, and honestly, we just love to have you there. Another place that we love to have you is over on YouTube. If you'd like to check out our past live streams or highlight videos, you can grab that link right there and come join us over on YouTube. Now, since it's all free and another way to help support, I do ask if you don't mind, give the channel a subscribe, give the videos a or hit the bell icon, give the videos a like and a comment because comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. You can also find us over on TikTok by following that link again while you're over there. Give it a follow, give it a like, give it a heart, and comment as well. Last but certainly not least are ways to help support the stream right here, right now, if you would like to do so. Always keep in mind that nothing is ever required, but everything is very much appreciated. With that, more information on how you can help the stream is in the chat, so feel free to read that at your leisure, and remember to do only what you're able and comfortable with doing. As of tonight, I am JRabbit87, and I hope you all have a very good